for one of the greatest rivalries that we have witnessed when it comes to international cricket. A rivalry that summons so much emotion, so much passion, and so much rivalry that we had to fill the house here today in our live network. Now, Sunil Gavaskar would like to take you all the way back to 1978 when he played a test match against Pakistan. He got the wicket of Zahir Abbas, but no, Sunny ji. As a player, as a broadcaster, every India-Pakistan encounter, are the nerves still there for you?
Yes. Starting from the traffic jam, getting to the ground, that's the first thing. And then also, I think, when you're trying to get out of the hotel, everybody's saying, who's going to win, everybody, wishing you well, because you can maybe pass on the wishes to the team. So yes, I think that little bit of, anxiety, nervousness is always there with any game. But I would imagine that because of the history between India and Pakistan, a little bit more for this game.
Wahab Riaz, Pakistan, the holders very much of this trophy. The two of you reunited after 2011. Thank God you don't have the ball in hand and the mic in hand today. But Pakistan, not just rivalry, fighting for survival today, and that's when we know Pakistan are dangerous, isn't it?
Exactly, when you expect the least from Pakistan.
So much of this game, so much of this encounter the two of you have been part of, it isn't just about the skill out there, Bhaji. It's about handling pressure, handling that crunch moment better. Which team is going to do it?
Yes, definitely. That is a skill every player needs to learn.
Who would make a difference? Who is your X factor for today's intense rivalry?
For me, as far as India is concerned, my X factor is Shubman Gill. As far as Pakistan is concerned, I think the X factor will be Naseem. Naseem, I think he's someone who's bowling really well, looks like he's in great rhythm. I think he is someone who can cause issues for someone like Rohit Sharma at the top, Shubman Gill at the top. But I think with the way Shubman's batting, I think he's in some really good form, and I love the fact that he won the match for India, batted all the way through. That's going to give him omens of confidence moving forward. And then you need that kind of performance, you need that kind of confidence going to a tournament like this. You have to remember, India's playing all games at this venue. So that advantage is going to be big for India.
This right here is the ultimate goal. That right there, that is the cauldron of pressure. And that rises in pressure will be a true diamond as India take on Pakistan. Thing that they understand well here, because if you need to rise and hold on to that crown, you have to do it in a better position, because Pakistan, the defending champions, are in a battle for survival, and that is something that they understand well here, because if you need to rise and hold on to that crown, you have to do it.
I think that Shaheen Shah Afridi hasn't been bowling his best over the last 12 months or so. Even in the previous game, it just seemed so off colour. Outside of Naseem Shah, I don't see anyone, and maybe Haris Rauf in the middle overs, I don't see anyone being that much of a threat, especially with their part-time spinners, in the middle overs for India. But I think as far as India's bowling is concerned and Pakistan's batting is concerned, I'm not necessarily worried about.
That could very much be the battle. I mean, Rohit Sharma, the last innings against Pakistan, has 650+ scores against them. We all know that Virat Kohli averages 80 against them in these sort of tournaments. But very often, we see the best version of Virat Kohli against this team.
Absolutely. I mean, we're hoping that we get to see that again today, because somehow...
With Wahab Riaz joining us, you bring back memories of Mohali in 2011, that 5-wicket haul. Again, thank God that you have the mic in your hand now. But Pakistan, under some serious pressure, that's when we watch Pakistan. But apart from just this Indian team, what are you expecting out of Pakistan today? Where do they need to fight the most?
See, you cannot take Pakistan out of this context. They haven't played
on the field as well. One of them who's beloved across the subcontinent, second leading run getter when it comes to ICC events, much loved by fans in blue and green, is King Kohli. So often batters are kings, and we've definitely seen that in this format. There's so much love and camaraderie between both of these teams. But someone who's in the spotlight from Pakistan, that's Babar Azam, a new role, Robin, opening the innings, a different responsibility. He'd know these conditions well, but he also has to show that match-winning innings.
He does. I think in the previous game there was a serious lack of intent, especially when you're chasing 320. One can,
the biggest performer for Pakistan. So I believe he knows that what is the importance of this game, and he knows that with his confidence, he can bring that thing into his game today, and he can win games for Pakistan, and we wish him all the very best for this game.
New Zealand did use spin to slow down Babar Azam. Here's where India have a plethora of spinners, but who will our champion of style be? Let's find out more from Sanjay Bangar. Rohit Sharma against Pakistan in one day has over 800 runs against them, averaging 50.
Well, I think that Rohit Sharma, Shaheen Shah Afridi will be a decisive one, especially in the first 5 overs. So I think if Rohit can get the better of that battle, India will have the upper hand.
The recent victories for Pakistan against India have been won in the power plays. Pakistani bowlers picking up those early wickets. Having a look at the conditions here, Wahab, from your mindset, what should Pakistan's pacers be doing?
I think the wicket looks slow and it's going to be dry as well. So new ball is going to be very important with the new ball if there is some swing. Otherwise, you shouldn't let them score runs. And then at the back end, after 30-35 overs, the ball will start to reverse here. And I think the Pakistani bowlers can take that advantage and can get the Indian batsmen out.
Something that even Robbie said earlier, Sunnyji.
Those 15 to 35th over, those 20 overs are crucial. You get lots of runs in that, you score at maybe 6-7 runs an over in that, you're giving yourself a plan.
That are different between these nations. Virtually those battles between player and player. The biggest battle, of course, happens to be the toss right at the top. Will that give you advantage? Let's find out. Let's go to the captains. Change as far as Pakistan is concerned. We'll have a look at the playing 11 brought to you by Dream 11. So Rohit Sharma, tremendous confidence there, saying that as a unit we're just going to do what we do. When you say that as a unit, Sunnyji, come here. Home watching as well, when you look at these extraordinary 22 individuals out there, when we have a look at what could be our MVPs, our most valuable
Bowlers to succeed, you want your top bowlers to be amongst the wickets at all times. So I'll pick Mohammad Shami there.
We love this rivalry because it gives us an opportunity, with ex-players who are now broadcasters, but players themselves used to take it another level, another jot, because India, Pakistan, the entire world is watching you. It is a carnival of cricket. It is cricket at its finest. It is an emotional affair. So when your players out there with the spectrum on you, how do you prepare for this encounter? Be scripted here today in the Champions Trophy. They haven't met in this tournament in that final 8 years ago. 8 years ago is a long time, but memories are carried forward. One of the games that we saw for Pakistan in the opening encounter was that New Zealand spinners troubled Pakistan, troubled the scoring rate. India come with a plethora of spinners, the most potent being Kuldeep Yadav. He has a good record against Pakistan. His overs will be golden. Nemesis. But just the utility, Robbie, of having a player like Akshar Patel. Now you can bowl him in the power play. You can use him as a floater. He just gives you that sort of utility. Actually, flexibility is the right word.
Absolutely. He's very quietly kind of flown on the radar and got to a position where he's kind of pushing Ravindra Jadeja.
As our experts have spoken about the middle overs being extremely valuable and could be game-changing, between India and Pakistan, it's always actually been the power plays that have defined these battles, and that's why it's so important.
He's done that in that first game against Bangladesh, taking 5 wickets, and he will be charged up against Pakistan. Because that confidence, the rhythm that he had as he ran into goal, is the rhythm that we want to see today. We see that, and you can be sure that he will bowl really well and get the Pakistani batters out.
In the opening encounter, Robbie, intent was a word that followed Babar Azam, but these are different conditions here. It can be a little challenging. Do you expect to see some sort of intentional attrition, or Babar stick to his game plan because he's a key wicket there for him?
Well, I think,
Are coming out of the woodworks. We just saw Jasprit Bumrah meeting the team, obviously not playing, but because Bumrah isn't here, Mohammad Shami very much the leader of the pack and the player for India when it's bowling first now against Babar Azam, Imam Ul Haq, who have been reunited once again. What do you expect Mohammad Shami's game plan to be?
his plan, I think the fact that he's bowled here in the last game.
India's perspective in the previous match, they had 5 wickets in the power play. They used as many as 4 players as well. One of them making his debut in a global event, who is our Damdar player to watch out for.
Then for the rest, he'll be fine.
Okay, so there's a lot of ways we could build up. We could say you need revenge for 2017. You need this victory to go forward. Pakistan could be knocked out. There's another form of revenge. What are you most looking forward to in this encounter, Robbie? Leave us with a prediction. Leave us with a scoreline. Something that you and your mustache can be held accountable. Fans that have come here in Dubai. Robbie, your assessment of the total towards the end, would you say restricting Pakistan to 240 at one stage with a 100-run partnership? They could have been building up to a little bit more.
Certainly could have, but I think that phase that after the first couple of wickets fell,
and try to convert that start into a big inning, big finish. So I believe that even though there should be Khushdil was playing there, but if Salman Ali Agha would have been there with him, Pakistan might have scored 270.
You've seen those catches from Virat Kohli. He's gone past Mohammad Azharuddin, more than 157 catches in this format. Again, middle overs, Robbie, for Indian bowlers, despite the option not picking up wickets. But what a game changer Hardik Pandya is. He's also a big match player when it comes to Pakistan. You saw his utility with his overs today.
He's gone out there and is willing to bowl 10 overs for you and get wickets.
And may have a job to do with the bat later. It's not going to be the easiest of chases, which Wahab once again puts that partnership into perspective. What were your thoughts watching that partnership unfold?
See, it was looking good. They took a lot of time, but if you have taken that much of a time, Robin is here, he can describe you that, then you have to take the game till the end. You knew the wicket is slow, the ball is not coming back nicely onto the bat. You have to accelerate your innings. You have to take that longer, so you give more chances to the players coming in afterwards. And you have to hold one end. You cannot lose wickets, and then you asking the new guys to come in and accelerate. So this is where I think Pakistan has missed the trick.
Albeit they got on the partnership eventually, but one of them should have played the sheet anchor role. And the other one, the role of a slight aggressor who's playing at gear 3, gear 4, so that they get the scoreboard ticking. At the expense of creating a partnership, they've gone ahead and they played 152 dot balls through the course of the innings. That's more than half the deliveries of a one-day game. That's gone off in dot balls. Take away 25-30 deliveries from that and add 25-30 singles and a couple of...
Well, and there are few teams you love to bowl against or bat against, and I think for him, Pakistan is one of them.
Certainly is, and this rivalry, that what we've seen in the first innings, has been so exciting. I've had the pleasure of walking it with among some greats here with Ravi and Wahab as well, and a lot of you back home have had the pleasure, the distinct honor of watching it with one of his 240 plus total. Is going to be competitive as well. It comes down to big match players, experience. Rohit Sharma against Pakistan in 8 innings, 50 plus scores that he has. Virat Kohli in these formats, in these games, he averages 80 plus against Pakistan, and they have been known to contain the pressure of a chase. If you look at India's top three, not just Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, great numbers, great averages chasing, but just look at them, these two pillars of Indian batting, no doubt hundreds. We focus on Virat Kohli, often has been the nemesis, is a different player when he takes on Pakistan. Wahab Riaz would understand that well, often plotting the downfall of Virat Kohli. But it would be interesting to see just how, again, Haris Rauf, because he's the leader of the pack in a way as well, along with Shaheen, approaches.
Once he's set, then you have to be very much cautious that what is coming from him. So I think they will try, both Shaheen and Naseem, even Haris has to make him drive the ball up for the first 5-10 balls, so they have to have a chance, because if you will not take wicket or you let him bat for a long, he will take the game away from you.
On the cusp of 14,000 one-day runs is Virat Kohli. We know that rotating strike against Bangladesh was a little bit of a struggle. There is the option, I know Pakistan may not have any spinners, there is the option to go to...
Multiple times I've said this over the last few days. I think if he just goes out there, watches the ball and plays to the merit, I truly believe that he will score runs by the buckets. I think it's just a matter of time. I think he needs to get one with the wicket, because this wicket generally is not the kind of wicket that Virat would enjoy playing in, because it's slow and then there's not enough pace to nurdle the ball into the gaps. So he'll have to get one with the pace of the wicket, kind of get used to the wicket, give himself that little bit of time. But once he gets that, once he sees through that period, and if I think he plays just to the merit of the ball, man, it's Virat Kohli. There's no spin him.
The beauty of this format is that you do have the time. All of you also have the time, in far as this breather is concerned, to sit back a little bit and relax. In fact, that we speak about, one of the battles, Wahab, in the past that we have relished and we look to relish again is
Times what happens is that when your attack is your best defense, and this is
have had against India. It all begins in the power play. You were looking for the eagle to soar and land in the right areas. What is Shaheen Shah's Afridi game plan going to be in this power play? Mighty battle, isn't it? Some of the best players in the world on display with the world watching. So much of it comes down to the partnership really between Rohit Sharma and Shubman Gill, how they approach the start of this chase, and it all comes down to that power play punch.
Talk, it is difficult for any batsman in the world. So I believe that they again has to rely on their swing. They have to take wickets up front.
No one has scored more runs in their first 51 innings in one-day cricket than Shubman Gill has. He's just in absolute prime position, a proper purple rich vein of form. But also, Robbie, what
His team to be able to score runs. So for me, I think that innings will go a long way and do a huge favour to his confidence in his own game and his ability to finish games for India.
Hunger and desire very much embroiled in these encounters as well. And of course, we're enjoying the festival of cricket. Here in a couple of days, we'll enjoy the festival Mahashivratri, which you can watch the live streaming of on the Jio Hotstar network. Okay, so it comes down to predictions and feelings and nerves. Wahab, what's your feeling? Be honest.
I believe Pakistan bowlers can do it.
I wouldn't believe anything. Giving your all through 100 overs. You know, I've got a person besides me who's also played those formats. So to keep that intensity level, what it also does is, as Virat mentioned, gives you that time when you're building or constructing a chase in those 50 overs. Because we've often spoke about the hunger that Virat has. He's trying too hard. He's trying something different.
The ball within his range, and that's what I think Virat Kohli is.
Just as we say that, the Crown Prince joins us, Shubman Gill, a man in tremendous form. We're speaking about consolidating innings and chases. So much of that I spoke about your post-match interview from Bangladesh, constructing an innings, building an innings with Virat Kohli, who's looking to find those runs. What were your thoughts watching the innings, watching it played out, eventually leading towards that 100?
Definitely, I think very satisfying innings for me to watch from the non-striker end, and the way he was letting the ball come to him and still have that positive, still have that, 1 second.
You can take it up.
Yeah, it's a lot like it.
Just, you know, to have that positive intent while letting the ball to come. Is the key on this kind of wickets where the ball is a bit slow and sometimes it's not coming on that nicely onto the bat. It's important to have that intent and positive mindset, and that's when you can rotate the strike and hit those odd boundaries in the middle.
I'm so used to seeing him score, you know, he's coming off the back-to-back hundreds and score them. For a change, you could actually sit back and watch someone else approaching a milestone. You heard the crowd booing the singles, right? Because they wanted the milestone. What was that little conversation at that passage of play like, where the result is coming as well as, you know, the 100 might just be coming in the dressing room there?
Yeah, I think the 100 was just round the corner. It was just about, you know, going till the end, and when you are close to 90-95 runs, then hit that big shot, and the 100 was always there.
Very briefly, Shubman, I know you played Pakistan before, but it must be huge for you to be playing in this Champions Trophy against Pakistan and getting the team across at the line in what is a very crucial position because your eye is on a different target. What was the experience for you?
Yeah, you know, booking our place in the semi-finals in a big tournament like this is always very pleasing, and that was the talk before the match. You know, this is a big game for us. Irrespective of the fact that we are playing Pakistan or any other team, but it's important for us to win this match and book our place in the semi-final.
Something you'd like to ask, Robbie?
You were always there and thereabouts. You never looked out of form in the last few months. You know, yes, the series against England was fantastic, but in the previous months, that say in Australia, when you just, you know, you were playing there, it felt like you were there and thereabouts. What got you going? Obviously, there's hunger. You're a young guy. But there must have been something that made you feel, okay, this works for me, I'm going to stick to this. What was that one thing or two things that stood out for you?
Yes, Robin bhai, I think you are absolutely spot on. Even when I was batting in Australia, I never felt like that I was not hitting the ball nicely or I was not coming in good positions. But I think it's all about, you know, trying to find that zone that helps you get the best out of yourself. You know, sometimes it might be for someone that when they are too focused, it might be for someone that, you know, they are just watching the ball and playing the ball. And I was not able to find that right zone. And I think just before the series against England, I went back home, practiced a bit, and I was trying to find that zone, and that's what was important for me, and I think I was able to do that.
You were right. You've been able to recognize that part that was missing?
Yeah, I think for me it's about I have to be in kind of a zone where I'm trying to take on the game. When I try to just not in my shell, but like we spoke before, the margin of error in this tournament is so. So that's what we were talking about, to not let the opposition come back into the game at any time.
Shubman, thank you so much for joining us. Looking forward to more runs.
I have a very quick question for him. So, we on the outside, when we watch you play, we know you're in a sense destined for greatness, and we understand that on a certain level you get that. And a lot of these tournaments, in these ICC tournaments, the great ones stand up and they say, okay, I'm going to make this mine. Today you have a role of a vice captain also added to that. Now, how do you balance these two things and still stay in the present and stay as neutral as possible to be able to go out there and give your best performances and win matches for your country?
The most important thing for me is when I'm batting out there, I just want to play as a batsman. I don't want to think about that I'm part of the leadership group or that I'm playing as a vice captain. When I'm batting out there, I want to be out there and make sure that my team wins, irrespective of what role I have in the team or what tag I have in the team. And that's what I try to do. Not to think too deeply into that I'm the vice captain, to take too much pressure or responsibility on myself. I just
all part of the process. Finally, a word on Robin's moustache. Keep it or leave it?
Definitely keep it.
Yes, thank you, brother.
Shubman, thank you so much for joining us. With that, we'll cross over now to the presentation to hear from both captains.
Tough luck, Rizwan. Let's talk a little bit first about that.
Plethora of records there, the people on their feet with Robin Uthappa and Sunil Gavaskar. There is something about Pakistan, this rivalry, and Virat Kohli. Sunny G was there at the MCG to witness that miracle knock, and now you witnessed a knock that was most significant for Virat Kohli in this passage of play in his life, in his career, to get the runs, to get the confidence, and also to get the team in a very, very good position considering qualification.
Yes, look, I think after the Australia tour, when he had done well below his own expectations, it was disappointing for him as well as for all those who have followed his cricket, because the regularity with which he got out in the same way.
As the tournament wears on, I agree with Sunny sir that he will bat better and better, because now he's gotten one with the pace of the wicket. He understands what works and he's going to stick with that. He's kind of player that, and I think that's one of the things about the greatness of Virat Kohli, the batter, is that the minute he understands something, he kind of imbibes it into his game. And he exercises it and repeats that practice over and over again. For a person to score 5100s, for a person to score 7500s in international cricket, you have to be willing to do the boring stuff over and over and over and over again. You got to be obsessed about being disciplined, and that is Virat Kohli, and he does that really, really well.
And now reaching 14,000 one-day runs, the fastest to the mark there. I mean, it's incredible. There's a group of fans that we always see them as broadcasters in India-Pakistan encounters. They were there in 2017 shedding tears. That's a group of fans that told us they were very excited about today, because have a look at the points table. It's an agenda. Sunny G said the players would remember 8 years ago. But
There'll be no sports person. There'll be no legends, no greats, because it's not just what the individuals done, but how the crowds inspire you, how the crowds lift you. So the fans are so important. And for the fans to remember, yes, of course, they're not going to forget this win. This is a massive win. But for the fact that, towards the end, maybe they just took a lot more of the singles. If it was a more challenging situation, India could have won with maybe another 5 overs to spare. And what it does is it sends a message to everybody that, look, India is going to be a force to reckon with in the rest of the tournament. It sends a message to the fans to come and watch again. Next match for India is going to be a Sunday. Again, a holiday here. You might not get, the kind of, frenetic crowds that we saw in this game, but you will still get a full house, because the Indian fans know that their team is on to a big thing.
you said 45 overs, right?
Yeah.
Robin? You did.
I did.
That's the predictions. The predictions are good. The fearless as well. There's no surprise who our stylish player of the day is, but let's get Sanjay Banga to tell us more. Thank you so much, Sanjay. Sanjay Banga has done a lot of hard work with Virat Kohli behind the scenes in the build-up to this ODI runs. Look at that, when it comes to the most 50, fantastic World Cup at home. And then, you know, there were things that happened. There was a Virat Kohli injury, actually, that led Shreyas Iyer to come back into the one-day setup, score runs, now still continuing to score runs. Shreyas in that middle order, keeping partnerships going, just rotating strikes is so significant, his form.
Yes, because he's also got a wide range of shots. So if required, he will play himself. Because the judgment is not about you individually, that your partner can also make it to his end. And that is the trust that is there between these two players. And that's why little things, right, keeping each other going, come on, let's keep going, that kind of stuff. So good to see Shreyas Iyer, you know, in the kind of form he's been. You're right, 2023, the World Cup, he was very, very good. Then, as you said, he dropped out of favour, but now he's back again. And now he has to make sure that since age is on his side, that he is there for the next,
Till the next World Cup.
Till the next World Cup, or maybe even more, till 2031 in India.
And it's statements being made from Team India. A victory like this over our rivals, Pakistan, puts them in an extraordinary position. Looking ahead, New Zealand is next on the radar. Their goals are much further as far as this Indian team is concerned. On that note, just around the corner, and here on our network, we'll be knocked out of this competition. Okay, we've had a lot of predictions from these two gentlemen today, but we're not going to make it any easier. Why not? Let's have some fun. New Zealand, Bangladesh.
Here, is that even a question?
I'm asking you, it's your job, Robin. No, sorry, it's a mustache's job, not mine.
Oh no, it's New Zealand all the way.
Scoreline, performer, should we do something different?
Well, if New Zealand bat first, New Zealand will probably score 300 because those pitches in Pakistan
Make
seem
that
to
350, sir.
350. Because, you know, I mean, those pitches.
You've been very good with predictions, both of you,
yeah,
so far.
Pitches look very, very good to bat on. So I dare say that even if I went into bat.
As they always are when it comes to global competitions like this, a thrilling encounter here in the Ring of Fire. As we say goodnight to you for joining us for another chapter. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your insights, your emotions today as well. We will see you tomorrow in that special encounter as far as this group is concerned, as New Zealand take on Bangladesh. See you next time. Have a great night.